This is word list A3 from the exam prep vocabulary series. Abstract. The stress is on the second syllable. Abstract. It's an adjective. It can also be used as a noun or a verb. So when you use it as an adjective, it means not concrete. It's not something that you can see. It doesn't have a physical form. You can't touch it. You can't smell it. You can't taste it. It doesn't have a solid concrete form. Something like that is abstract. It's not concrete, thought of apart from any material object. For example, I had an abstract idea of what he meant, but nothing solid. Abstract also means not easily understood. Young children have a difficult time understanding abstract concepts such as time and space. Abstract, when used as a noun, means a brief statement of the content of a book, like a summary. For example, we knew about the case from having read the abstract. Abstract also means to summarize when used as a verb. For example, abstract the story, stating only the relevant facts, means summarize the story. Abstruse. The stress is on the second syllable. Abstruse. It's an adjective and it means something that is obscure, meaning something that is complex and difficult to understand or comprehend. For example, after the first few classes, Jack thought calculus was an abstruse collection of abstract ideas. Many high school students find parents to be abstruse. They find parents difficult to understand. Her research paper contained a number of abstruse arguments that only those well-versed in her field would understand. Synonyms are obscure, profound. Antonyms are evident, visible, obvious. Absurd. Absurd. The stress is on the second syllable. This is an adjective. And absurd means something that's very obviously untrue as to be laughable. For example, the teacher did not believe the student's absurd excuse that the dog ate his homework. Thinking you can wear flip-flops and a bikini to the North Pole is an absurd idea. So absurd also means laughably different from what is reasonable or logical. The outfit that Gino wore with the red and white striped shirt and the green and yellow checked pants was absurd. Synonyms are preposterous, ludicrous. Antonyms are rational, sensible, practical. Abyss. The stress is on the second syllable, abyss. It's a noun. An abyss is a deep and vast space or cavity. Anything that seems bottomless or very deep. Something that is profound or infinite. Walking a tightrope over an active volcano, the acrobat was terrified of falling into the abyss. Now recovering, the patient remembered her experience with clinical depression as an abyss of hopelessness, something that was very deep. Her experience seemed very infinite and very profound. The submarine dove into the abyss to chart the previously unseen depths. Synonyms are chasm, void, gorge, fissure. Abysmal. The stress is on the second syllable, abysmal. Abysmal is an adjective that means immeasurably deep or low, like an abyss. It also means hopelessly bad. He wrote the term paper all in one night, and the results were abysmal. They were very bad. Tom's last place finish in the race was an abysmal turn of events for the team. It was a very bad turn of events for the team. Hygiene in the slums is abysmal. It's very bad. Synonyms are bottomless, vast, wretched. A cappella. A cappella has a stress on the third syllable. It's an adjective and it means a style of singing without any accompaniment from musical instruments. It's a free style of singing using only the voice, often in a rhythmic and inventive vocal style, like people sing in a church, in a choir. For example, you will be asked to sing at least one song a cappella during the initial few auditions. The kids sang some songs a cappella as the parents drove the car. Accede. The stress is on the second syllable. Accede is a verb which means to give consent or agree to something. It also means to attain or formally accept a high position or to be a part of an international agreement or treaty. It means to agree, give consent, or to assume power. For example, the government should never accede to the demands of terrorists. Shelley acceded to Jill's request and stayed back for group study. Prince Charles will someday accede to the British throne. He will assume power someday. Synonyms are agree, approve, assent. Antonyms are antagonize, dissent, demur, protest. Accentuate. The stress is on the second syllable. Accentuate is a verb which means to stress, to emphasize. It's to make a feature of something more noticeable. It's to put emphasis on a syllable, a word, or a phrase. It is to strengthen or heighten the effect of something. The architects determined that large bay windows would accentuate the colonial style of the new home. Real estate agents accentuate the high points and play down the low points of the property. Wear clothing that accentuates your youthful looks. Synonyms are underscore, highlight, emphasize. Antonyms, mask, divert. Access. The stress is on the first syllable. Access is a noun which means the act of coming near or approach. For example, the access to the house was through the side door. That is how you approach the house or you enter the house. It also means a way of approaching something. You will need an ID and password to access your bank account. That is how you use it. So access also means the right to enter or use something. It's not appropriate for kids to have unsupervised access to the internet. Synonyms are approach, path, entry. Accolade. The stress is on the first syllable. Accolade is a noun which means an award or any other expression of honor. An accolade is praise. Given the number of accolades she has received for her work on stage and in film, it is surprising just how humble she is. Everyone offered accolades to the scientist after he won the Nobel Prize. Synonyms are award, honor.